I've been trying to get a hold of you guys for a while. I go to the same university that Dr. Doug Rocky, Dr. DU went to, and I'm trying to hunt him down to see if I can get an interview with him. My school's a huge ROTC military institution. We're the only non-military university to have a military nickname. If anyone if I could stay on hold after I'm done here, talk to someone, possibly get that, it'd be great. I'm trying to wake up as many of our future soldiers and officers as possible. Bob, my question to you is the way you see gold and silver continue to rise. What do you think is in the mind of the elite, like George Soros, who looks? I can't even describe what George Soros really looks like, but what do you think those evil, corrupt people are going to do to try to suppress gold and silver? And for a college student like myself, how should I get into the silver market? I know gold is way out of my league, but in terms of silver, I know I need to get water filters and stock up with food. But in terms of silver, what is your best, bargain in terms of getting silver?
Well, my feeling is this, and I'm currently doing that, and that is pre-1964, 90% dimes, quarters, and halves. I mean, that's the cheapest way to buy silver, and everybody knows what those coins are, and so that has been my preference, followed by the walking liberties as well as the silver eagles. But that's an easy way to get in, and as long as you can find a dealer who was willing to sell to you in small amounts, and so that's the way to approach it. That's the way I do it. And even in
Thanks for the call. Got to move on, Bob. We've got tons of callers for you and not much time, so we're going to move on to Shannon in Mississippi. Shannon, your question for Bob Chapman. Shannon, you're on the air. Go ahead. We dropped Shannon. Bob, Air Force Base. Bob, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, hello. Infowars subscribing Air Force Dittos. Doesn't have to do with Mr. Chapman, I'm sorry, but I'm sitting here watching a sweep of base housing right now, and I thought I'd want to mention it to you guys.
A sweep of what, sorry?
Of base housing. I'm actually on an Air Force base, and they're claiming they're doing sweeps for unexploded ordnance in people's cross bases. They're systematically shutting down a full street at a time. It's been going on for a couple weeks. And they're basically telling people to leave their houses for 6 hours while they post fully geared security force personnel on both ends of the street, and they're searching the entire houses. I just wonder if you guys have heard anything similar to this happen in other places, or if you got any idea what might be going on other than, I don't know, bugging or searching for weapons and cataloging, or I have no idea what they're doing. My real name's
Dr.
personally. Go ahead, Bob.
I've not heard of that, but that's outrageous. Now, of course, in the military...
Send me an email on it, Bob, and send me the information and some photos, and we'll look into it. Thanks for the call. Ray in California, you're on the air with Bob Chapman. Go ahead, Ray.
Yes, hi. Thank you for having me, Mr. Watson. It's a great honor to be on this show.
That's okay. Go ahead. What's your question today?
My question is, I was wondering what the official explanation for the government explanation for the World Trade Center 7 collapse was. It was the fire.
The official government explanation by NIST was that it collapsed as a result of what they called thermal expansion, and they claimed that the building collapsed from the outward walls in, which is completely contradicted by all the video evidence, which shows first the penthouse collapsing and then the structure collapsing demolition-style freefall. So their very official story is contradicted just by watching a simple video of the collapse of the World Trade Center. The collapse was initiated at the penthouse. That's why NIST edited out that penthouse footage in their recent release of 3 terabytes worth of video footage and photographs. So they're trying to cover it up. They're trying to cover up the very nature of the collapse of World Trade Center 7. BJ in Arizona, you're on the air with Bob Chapman. Go ahead, BJ.
Bob, I have a question. When this all first started and they bailed out the banks, wasn't it about kind of preventing the derivatives and counterparty risk from imploding? And wouldn't what's going on now kind of be the nuke on the derivatives?
Well, first of all, yes. Part of what they were pretending to do was to protect the derivative structure. And it's understandable why they would do so, because there's no regulation, and I've done what they wanted to do in that theater, so to speak. And they didn't want that thing touched if they can, because they knew that if the derivative structure started to crumble, the whole financial system would go down. I mean, we're talking $1.5 quadrillion worth of derivatives.
Okay, we'll be back after the break with Mark and Steve in Florida. Infowarsmoneybomb.com. Infowarsmoneybomb.com. Stay tuned.
Is it really possible to get out of debt without payment plans or attorneys? 18 years ago, we developed a program that has made thousands debt-free in just 90 days. It's called Zero Debt in 90 Days, and it works for all credit card debt, medical bills, even collection lawsuits.
When I first joined, I was being sued. So I used the program methods, and after filing one piece of paper, the collection lawsuit was dismissed.
With Zero Debt in 90 days, your success is guaranteed in writing. There is no other program of its kind. Don't be alone when creditors gang up on you. Let our team of experts provide the resources to fight back and stop creditors in only 90 days, guaranteed. Prevent wage garnishments, bank levies, and stop collection calls with our proven program. Call Zero Debt in 90 days now, 800-477-9256, and ask for free information from an expert who also completed our program. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Fight back this cold and flu season with the world's best garlic extract, Ali C. Why Ali C? Because it helps your body fight viruses, bacteria, and fungi. Ali C has been scientifically proven in double-blind studies using low doses to greatly reduce the number, severity, and duration of common colds. Ali C contains 300 milligrams of stabilized allicin, the active ingredient in crushed garlic. Studies show Ali C is effective against MRSA, bacterial, fungal, and viral infections. One tablet of Ali C has the equivalent of 40 cloves of garlic. Ali C supports your body's resistance to all types of conditions and can help lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. So boost your body's resistance to infection with nature's best garlic extract, Ali C. For more information and to order Ali C, call 877-888-7126 or go to garlichealthproducts.com. That's 1-877-888-7126 or go to garlichealthproducts.com for your Ali C today.
The distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone.
We've gone the full distance on the Infowars Moneybomb Marathon, final segment of this 27-hour Leviathan show. And remember, today's Google search term is WTC collapse. That's WTC collapse. And that's going to lead people straight to our shocking new article on PrisonPlanet.com dealing with this new evidence out of the NIST tapes that have recently been released. Now, final calls. Be quick with your questions for Bob Chapman, please. Mark in Florida, go ahead.
Thank you, Bob. I got a question. U.S. Postal Service, Section 323, Priority Mail International Insurance, they talk about special drawing rights where the dollar has a value of 65.76 SDR special drawing rights. What is that, and is that the IMF taking over the U.S. Economy?
Well, it's a good question. I hadn't seen that before. That must be how many units of the SDR are needed to buy a dollar. I'm just guessing at that. The SDR is a special drawing right which the IMF issues usually in exchange for other things like dollars. And that might be the official exchange rate that they're using for those contributors, like China recently contributed and received SDRs. They're just another fiat currency backed by nothing more than the word of the IMF and the members who contribute and control the IMF. And so it may be in preparation, but I haven't seen anything like it anyplace else. But it's interesting that you had found that. It might be the beginning of a wave of the future, especially in as much as the Postal Service is part of the government.
You can get it at the U.S. Mail website, section 323.62, and it says 1 SDR is equal to $1.52 U.S.
Okay, thanks for the call. That's also part of the Bancor global currency that we've reported on before. Steve in Florida, your question for Bob Chapman. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, how you doing there, Watson? Every time I call, I get you. I just wanted to say, I wanted to ask him about the this whole banking fraud system we've got working. Will we be in dishonor for 70 years like we have previously if we go through with basically telling the banks they can't take the houses unless they get their stuff in order? And I wanted to plug November 5th, Ron Paul sign waving. I hope people can get behind it.
So, Bob, what's your reaction to that?
Well, I don't know exactly what he means, Ron Paul, November 5th.
I think before he was talking about how the government will react if people just stay in their homes and refuse to be kicked out with the foreclosures.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, that's the first part of the question. The government, they can't do anything about it. They're going to have to come up with some sort of a solution. And probably 50% of the mortgages are being held by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae, and FHA, which now belong to the government. And so the government's responsible, and that is the taxpayers. And so I think they'll be frozen in their tracks. I don't know what they'll do. I mean, that kind of an event also would take the dollar down, take the market down. It would certainly, if people were foreigners who owned U.S. treasuries or agency securities, I think they would think twice about buying them. And so the bottom line is it could create a financial panic. And I think
okay, we've come to the end of the show. Thanks, happen. Bob. TheInternationalForecaster.com. We've reached the end of the 24-hour Moneybomb Marathon. Infowarsmoneybomb.com. Alex will be back Sunday for the live broadcast. Stay tuned to the websites, prisonplanet.com, Infowars.com over the weekend. Google search WTC Collapse. WTC Collapse.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to HomeGain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way